doesn't matter. Whatever. This type of food poisoning made me shit for 3 days.
Your whole hockey team watched the OC.
Yeah. Just boys being boys, baby.
Friendship.
Okay. I was my girlfriend bought goosenecks for the dog.
Is this a story already?
Yeah.
Aren't you gonna start with like, oh, hey? Don't you? You've been doing that.
My
lately.
girlfriend bought goosenecks for the dog.
Okay.
And if you've listened to the past couple podcasts, I feel like goosenecks would be like a good thing for Franklin and Templeton to want you to invest in as they're warming their hands by the trash fire. Like, yeah, if you give me and Franklin some money, we're gonna invest in nothing but goosenecks.
You see, they use the feathers, they use the breasts,
but no one's using the necks. And you just see a stray dog eating a gooseneck by the canal. They're just under the bridge by the canal.
I love the under the bridge.
Well, it's just a regular, it's one of those classic garbage fires, like a oil drum fire, and they're both warming their hands with blankets around them. Like, yeah, we got big ideas for your portfolio as per se. They don't know how to use the word per se.
Yeah, there's two blind guys on the side going portfolio.
I don't know what that reference is.
It's very New Jack City, is what I'm seeing. You know what I mean?
Okay, again, too old for me.
Come on, every time you see a garbage fire in an alley, you don't imagine like a few blind black guys singing some old jam
No, dude.
The fire
I don't know what you're talking
up.
about.
Oh, come on.
I've never seen New Jack City.
I think it was originally called New Black City, then they brought it to the studio to Zach, and I think we should change it before we let it out. It's a little on the nose.
No, I don't know. What's that movie about?
It's about crack and how Chris Rock becomes the biggest crackhead in the world. And
really,
yeah, he's in it, and
he
becomes this giant crackhead. He looks like I feel like what's his face is Dave Chappelle's character. What's his name?
Okay, yeah, Clayton Bigsby, I think.
Yeah, is completely based on Chris Rock's.
It's very possible. By the way, because you brought this up, I saw a news article about this crack house in Hochelaga, like a shitty neighborhood in Montreal.
So all the houses there?
No, this one apparently that has no more doors. You can just see right through the house, and it's just full on crack house. There's 10, 15 people living in there and just doing. In French, the word for those type of drugs in French is stupéfiant, which is stupefiers.
That's just, okay.
It just sounds like that class of drugs, or maybe meth. I don't know. It just sounds like a nice little Harry Potter spell,
Yeah.
You take this stupefier and you don't sleep for 4 days.
Yeah, it's very Roald Dahl. It feels like it's something out of Willy Wonka's the stupefier.
It's a very different Willy Wonka, just a crack house Willy Wonka. That's what Willy Wonka should have been. Is Charlie wakes up and he's got a needle in his arm. It's I didn't want to do this.
That was one hell of
Hey,
a trip.
Willie, is just his drug dealer, Willie. Yeah. Willie, what was in this shit? You'll never know, son.
Turns out that wasn't a big friendly giant. It was just a large homeless man. He wasn't friendly at all, if you ask me.
But he still sleeps in a bed with all his grandparents.
I'll steal your dreams, though. That's funny. I was listening to Joe Rogan randomly. I think. Who was on?
Dude, our main competitor, Joe Rogan.
Our number one.
Our number one.
I mean, pretty much. Look, let's not fuck around. I'll call it out on the pod. I don't care. He's probably the reason we didn't get the Spotify deal.
Yeah.
I feel like it's because he swooped in, and then maybe the Michelle Obama thing, but I think it was more.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Michelle
Did
Obama
she get a Spotify deal as well? Okay.
Yeah,
I thought, I knew Kim Kardashian got
Kim
one.
K too, yeah. But I was listening to Joe, and he was talking to Joe because I call him Joe because we're a first name basis. Why not?
Yeah.
And he was talking to Bob Saget, of course.
Okay. Yeah.
Of
our childhood.
He mentioned Jimbo's, and he mentioned the Comedy Works in Montreal,
really?
and like being there back in the day when Jimbo used to run it. Do you remember Jimbo? And it was really crazy to hear from Joe Rogan the stories that you hear like comics here talk about, like those fucking glory
Yeah, it's the
days.
same fucking thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. Like I remember Nate Bargatze said that after he got his Just for Laughs New Faces, the first club he headlined was the Comedy Works.
Yeah.
And apparently he says that he bombed the whole weekend, and then at the end of the weekend, Jimbo was like, "Not ready yet, huh, kid?" And just like imagine just getting like the biggest like credit, because back then like New Faces that Just for I guess it still is for non-Canadians.
Sure.
They don't give a shit about us. Actually, no, they changed it to New Faces Canada, so at least we get the same.
Dude,
if we get it, which we're not getting it.
Established comedians who have never gotten New Faces are still angry about never getting New Faces.
I know.
You know, and it's so funny to hear all that crap. And it's just also like Jimbo, I guess, what is our Mitzi Shore? Is that like
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
guess.
much the deal. Like there's that great story of Mitzi Shore with Louis C.K. Like when he was like he already had an HBO special and he came into audition, and 2 minutes into his set, Mitzi just yelled, "He doesn't have it," and like turned off and like put on the light and like almost turned the mic off on him and never let him come back. And so it's funny that we had one. And it's also just hilarious that everyone calls the glory days when there was this fascist regime like governing comedy.
Yeah.
Like, the good old days when one person could tell us if we were funny.
In Montreal, it's almost back, baby. There's like 2 people who control 90% of the scene. I guess it's a small scene in comparison to a lot of places.
In all fairness to those, like, you know, and I 100% want their validation by I want their spots, but I think Jimbo did this thing where you wanted him personally to like really like you, not even just for the spots. Like these people.
I was gonna say I started comedy like I decided to start writing for comedy, and then a week later it closed down due to bankruptcy or whatever, and then it came back, I guess, right when I started. I think there was like a 6-month period where it didn't exist, and then that's the 6 months I used to write the shittiest fucking jokes in the world.
Yeah, you were pretty bad. I started right when the Yuck Yucks closed, and Comedy Works was still running, but I think Walter was running it.
I never did Yuck Yucks. Never did it. All the people told me not to do it. Even the people, I don't know, people told me not to do it. I was like, all right, fine. I'm terrified to be on stage, so I'm not gonna do it. I guess I should have done it. Yeah. I remember some of our friends told me that they would chug like 5-6 beers before going up because they're so fucking nervous.
I like that vibe. I get like why people want, I don't know, some sort of Hitler running the show. You know, I don't know. I like to answer to someone. It makes you feel safe.
I was speaking of Hitler. I was listening to Nirvana. This is gonna tie back around somehow. I was listening to Nirvana. I really like their cover of "Where Did You Sleep Last Night?" Right? It's a great cover of a Lead Belly song. Lead Belly,
girl.
Yeah, exactly.
My girl.
I don't like Nirvana, but it's a good song. Lead Belly, when I was looking them up before, had a song said like about like Hitler being a piece of shit, which is pretty cool. It's like, hey, Hitler, treating those Jews wrong.
I like that.
But the point is that at the beginning, right before on the Nirvana Unplugged album, right before he starts that song, he's like, this is a song by my favorite recording art. I think all of our favorite performer, right? And he like looks back at the band. And it's like, how is Lead Belly your favorite fucking performer? He was born in like 1880, like 10 years after slavery was like whatever. It just like, you know, like signed out of law. There's no way. Every recording of Lead Belly sounds like it was done on the Titanic as it was sinking. There's no fucking way. You pretentious, unless it was a joke. If you're joking, fine. But like, what a pretentious fucking my favorite.
He was not joking. He definitely spent his entire life trying to find one person that no one else could possibly claim that they knew.
I mean, like he is like the originator of rock and roll. Him and like a couple other people. I think like Robert Johnson maybe. Well, I forget. I think it's Lead Belly who apparently. It's either Lead Belly or Robert Johnson was in prison for stabbing a guy. And then they got stabbed in the neck with a prison shank and apparently killed the dude with the shank that was in his neck. Pulled the shank out of his neck and then killed the guy who stabbed him in the neck. I think it's Lead Belly. And lived and then became a musician.
How thick was this guy's neck?
Like kept being a musician.
It's a fucking tree trunk with a head.
Lead Belly should have called him Thick Neck, huh?
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with lead neck, but I mean,
Oh.
it's good for thick neck.
No, I think he got shot in the stomach. That's why he called him. No, his last name was like Lead Belly or some shit.
I mean, I like the first one.
Anyways, fuck Kurt Cobain. I hope he.
To that
keeps
album though,
going.
I mean, like I think someone.
It's great.
I was a bit older, so I didn't really get into them so much. But I mean, I was a bit younger, so I didn't really get them into them much.
I was gonna say, how old are you?
Yeah, sorry, I was younger. But then someone gave me MTV's Unplugged album, and that album's amazing.
That is an amazing album. I don't like Nirvana. I like that album.
Exactly. And then I started listening to other albums. I'm like, oh, they are annoying as hell.
So, dude, is it Lake of Fire on that album is still unlistenable. It's like pure Nirvana. It's still unlistenable. It's not good.
Well, what I do love about Nirvana is that they brought us Mr. Dave Grohl, and he is a god because he had a band. No one knows about this band. He had a band, and only for 1 year was it good, and then after that,
is it like
suck.
Pilot? What's it called? It starts with a P, right? Probot?
No, it was.
You talking about the Foo Fighters?
No, not the Foo Fighters. What's it called?
I'm pretty sure you're talking about Probot. I can't.
No, this thing
like
no one knows. Or something like that, right?
Oh, Queens of the Stone Age is my favorite band. You're trying to make fun of.
That's exactly it. It took so long to get to my fucking punchline.
I thought you were like we're turning this podcast into like a deep dive into music because he did have a band that lasted a year between Nirvana and like Foo Fighters or whatever.
No, but I love how you would try to find that one before think that I was telling you how shitty your favorite band is.
Dave Grohl's, I've said this a million times, Dave Grohl's greatest musical contribution, I think, comes at 5 minutes and 42 seconds into the Song for the Deaf, and it's just him, or Song for the Dead, and it's just him going, hey! And that's his greatest lyrical contribution. It's after a huge like drum solo or something, he's like, hey, I just did it.
Hey. Well... no, not to Nirvana at all. I like as a kid that and Pearl Jam. They both was not my thing.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I like that the cover of that 40s song or whatever, like the 1950s song.
Where my babe? Her teeth are all over the sidewalk, and I can't believe.
That's the saddest song in the world.
I'm holding her intestines while she's crying out loud,
and her foot is dislocated.
It's so
now. Yeah, it's so sad.
Awful. Awful. And I remember I had this one memory because he did all the music to that movie about the dumb idiot who died in a van in the middle of the forest. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I haven't seen that. With it, like, what's it called? Didn't they just move the van? It's like in Alaska. They just moved it. People were trying to hike to it, and then they all would die. Yeah. And they were like, and Into the wild.
They show this moment in that news article that you're talking about. They show this moment where they're lifting the van via helicopter. And dude, there's a road pretty close. Like maybe they made it after, maybe they made that road later on. But if that road was there the whole time, I don't know if we really should have made that movie. It's not a, anyway. So
I don't know anything about that story except that is it Emil Hirsch that was the actor in there?
No, I don't know. I'm not gonna say
whatever. Doesn't matter.
Anyway, so Eddie Vedder did all the music for that movie, and there's a soundtrack for it that everyone was obsessed with when it came out. And I was at this camping trip, like not camping trip, but like at a cabin. See, that's how little I do camping. I go to a cabin. I was on a camping trip. Bugs were too close to me. That's all I know. And there's this fire, and I was like high and drunk, and they were just playing that fucking album on repeat. And his fucking voice.
Well, that's worse. What you're doing, whatever you're doing right now, is much worse.
That's Eddie Vedder. That's what he sounds like to me in my fucking head. And I like, and
I can't wait for you to listen back to this podcast and hear what you just did with your mouth.
I'm gonna have to mute it out. No more word. The worst songs.
What time did we start this fucking podcast at, by the way?
I don't know.
I have no idea how long we're gonna do today.
We're gonna figure it out. It's fine.
Okay. I'm gonna say we're 10 minutes in, but
yeah, I hated Eddie Vedder so much after that one album. I just freaked out of nowhere. Everyone was having a good time. I'm like, can we turn this shit off? And everyone freaked out.
Yeah.
I had a bad week. I'm looking at myself. I've been like fucking with my mustache, cutting it too much, and I look. Do you see how bad it is? Can you tell?
I mean, It looks a little off at the bottom. It looks like you did like the reverse French mustache thing where it's
Dude.
like pencil thin around the lip.
Yeah. It's
What'd
like
you do?
I have all this space here, so it
You
looks
trying
like
to make your lips look a little more plump there, honey?
no. It was bothering me getting on my lips. It was in my mouth, so I was
Yeah, of
trying
course,
to even it out, and I really screwed it up. And I took a chunk out of this side, and it just does not.
See, I have like a length of mustache that like after that just gets wispy. So I have a perfect like clip like trimmer adjustment setting that like really just does the job.
Oh, I can't do that. No,
Yeah.
I'm grown. I'm a real man growing a real
Yeah,
mustache.
yeah. I got like basically 14-year-old peach fuzz like on maximum overdrive or whatever.
Yeah.
Like they hacked into the system to make 14-year-old peach fuzz as like manly as possible, but without ever evolving past it.
That's not so bad. You got like the upper lip of a woman in the middle of the winter. You know what I mean?
Fuck you. Why? What's wrong with your week? What's wrong with your week, dude? Did you break your toe like I did?
Oh God, you got it. Man,
It's not that much of a story.
Only idiots break their fucking toes. No, it's got to be a story. There's got to be what happened.
You'll be pleased to know it was my girlfriend's fault.
I love that part so much that she just purposely dropped something on your toe and pretended it was an accident.
So
Amazing.
long story long. We have an AC unit that needs like a tube to feed the water from like I guess the humidity that has to come. You know, I don't know how it works, right?
They call it a portable air conditioner.
Yeah, we have a portable AC that needs to have water taken out of it. So there's a tube going to a garbage, like a little trash can. And in the middle of the night, it fell out of the trash can, and the room, like our floor's a little warped right now. So I hope my landlord's never gonna listen to this. Sorry, they were a little warped before. I feel like it happened like a few tenants ago, and then rehappened.
But how
today,
much water does this air conditioner leak?
Dude, it was insane. We changed the filter, we cleaned the filter on it, and like the amount of like water that came out of it that night was insane. Anyways, the rug under the bed was soaked, so we took the rug out from under the bed. We let it dry. When it came time to put the rug back under the bed, we're having a little bit of trouble because like my mattress is like on a base, and then there's like a box like around them, like a what's it called? The headboard and all that shit. What's it called? Mattress, like
The box
thing
spring?
that goes. No, not the box spring. The thing that goes around, like the bed set or whatever it's called. There, the
Frame.
fucking wood, the bed frame. There you go. So the bed frame doesn't support the bed at all. My bed has like a separate support system because it's one of those.
This is not great advertising. This is not great advertising for your
Point is,
your fault
point
as a
is-
mattress salesman.
Shut the fuck up! Don't say that. No one needs to know that. He's not a salesman. Also, there's nothing to do with mattresses. Don't
I
talk
love how I
about them.
diminished him into like a used mattress salesman.
Yeah. Point is, okay. Point is, the bed frame. We were lifting it up to put I wasn't lifting it up. My girlfriend decided to lift it up on her own.
Okay.
Put the rug back in,
Okay.
and I happened to be in just walking, and it's the match, whatever, something separated from where it's supposed to be, and like 100 pounds of wood just fell on my toe.
You're telling me the most bullshit story I've ever heard in my life. Like this is literally when a cop shows up and like there's a battered husband.
No,
or wife.
I would just have to show you how my bed is fucking set up, and you would see that it's
You're
true.
gonna have to explain to me how you were casually happened to be walking by the bed that was lifted.
Because we were doing it together, but then she decided
Okay.
to do it on her own.
Oh, I see. And then you were
Understand?
frustrated, so you put your toe in level. So if she fucked up, the repercussions. would be-
Yeah. I love having a broken toe.
You don't
It
give a
hurts
shit.
more. It hurts less walking around barefoot than it does with anything. It's insane. Like I can't. You're supposed to splint it next. It's called the buddy system.
I know. That's right.
You're supposed to splint it to the next toe. By the way, if you Google what to do with a broken toe, they'll give you the cause. Yeah, I fucking know
Yeah.
what the cause is. They're like, you either stubbed it or dropped something real hard on it. Yeah, I know. You don't have to tell me that part of it. That part of the equation I know about. Tell me what to do about it.
Dude, there's nothing
fucking
more
gross.
embarrassing than Googling what to do about a broken toe because you know the answer is nothing. Deal with
I
it,
know. Yeah.
you child. You're like praying that
Yeah, I know,
there's
but,
just
like-
some voodoo spell to say.
No, but I need to know like what I need to know like what I was looking at. Like I thought it was maybe it was pus, and I wasn't sure if it was bone because they didn't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it. It's white. It's
Oh, it was
ivory
like
white.
a gushing blood. It's not like because most people break their toe with the stub thing. You know what I mean?
No. This is a crash on
Oh.
top of the fucking the nails destroyed. It was already not great before. I thought I had broken both my pinky toes before. It turns out I had just sprained them or something.
Yeah,
'Cause this
that
is
was
a
right.
break, man. This is
Yeah.
a real fucking thing. Like my pinky toenails are just trash from having stubbed them a million times each. You know,
So disgusting.
dude, it's normal. If you have a regular pinky toe, you're not a real man.
That's true. My pinky toe's fucked too. I have like split. It grows 2 nails that don't even know what it's doing anymore.
That's what I had on this one, and now
Yeah.
I can't imagine what's gonna happen after, dude. It's gonna be a fucking disaster. It's gonna be just like whatever happened at Benghazi, what those Republicans are angry about. That's what's gonna happen on my toe. Was that a thing?
Oh my god. And can we talk about? Okay, so how old are you, Jason?
I'm 30.
30 years old. Recently 32, right? Relatively. Explain.
What do you want to talk about?
Explain the electronic bed part that you said.
I have access through family, whom I will not discuss about. I will not discuss what part of the family. I got a hookup.
Yeah.
And it's a great. I installed the motor wrong when I moved in here, and then I tried to fix it, and I installed it wrong again. Apparently, so I don't have access to the moving part of my bed anymore. It's just a regular bed. It's just a regular bed. It's very comfortable. It's a fucking thick mattress.
It's supposed to move, but it doesn't now?
It's supposed to move, yeah, because it's not hooked up properly, and I don't feel like it's a lot of work to hook. It's a heavy piece of it's a lot of work because I have to undo my bed frame, risk breaking my toe, and then flip the bed on its side and re-hook up the mat. It's a pain.
Do you and your girlfriend get separate settings if it does work?
No, it's one whole thing. It's not. We're not geriatrics. You fucking asshole.
Do you sit in your bathtub too?
We'll put a link of the sketch that me and my old roommates shot prominently featuring the mattress moving up and down.
God, it's so ridiculous. It's great.
Hilarious. It's actually, you know what? I miss it because, well, now it's not so bad because our TV moved after we were waiting for a dresser for the longest time.
Yeah.
To show up by mail, and then it did. So now the TV, I can see the TV at night. It's good. But before, man, could I have used that electronic component?
Did you debate going to the hospital?
No, not at all. I knew that you can't do anything with a broken toe. I just need to Google it just to make sure what bone looked like or whatever.
What does bone look like? Just scrolling.
Or
through
what does it
pictures?
feel like? I don't know. How does it feel like when you touch bone? It's not like gold, you know. There's no toothless guy in the background going, and there's them gold in there.
If it hurts really bad, you might have a broken toe. Well, congratulations.
So gross,
that's awful. You should go get it looked at, maybe.
No, I was gonna get a look because I had a blood test scheduled for today from a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was gonna have the nurse check it out, but they're a one-stop shop over there. They don't fucking look at anything except for your arm when they put the needle. But also, when I walked into this blood test, dude, I walk in and it was my first time at this place on Nuns Island, fancy CLSD.
Yeah.
And I walk in for my appointment. I go to the window where the receptionist is, and I say, I give her my paperwork, like the doctor's note that I need a blood test, and I give her my health card. And she starts typing in the info, and then she asks, "First time here?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Work." like she had work to do.
That's hilarious.
She was angry about it.
Yeah.
It's like it took 45 seconds for her to get my address, and that was it. That's all that she had to input in. That's the.
Is this the same woman who's gonna take your blood?
No. This is a receptionist. But just to say that she had 45 seconds of work to do, and she was made a point to tell me that I was a fucking hassle to her.
You get to the nurse, and she's looks at your arm, and she can't see the veins, and she's like, "Work." You have to cut off some circulation just to see these things. Jesus Christ, what do I have all day?
When she literally just took some blood and then made it painful. I had a flip flop on with just my toe bandage, and she could see it, and she made it painfully obvious that she wanted nothing to do with it. That was not part of her job description.
I remember one time I got a blood test after getting a colonoscopy.
You would. That was elective, right?
First of all, just become an age where you'll need one soon. Okay,
44?
buddy? No. Yeah. I had mine a little earlier. It's true, for my belly problem, because I'm a sensitive little boy.
Yeah.
I'm a sensitive little boy. And I got a gastroscopy and a colonoscopy at the same time. You know what those both are?
Yeah. Gastros, then you got DP'd.
I got DP'd. I was like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
do.
dude.
You
Your
do
first
this.
scene, the
Yeah.
producer asked you if you were uncomfortable at any moment.
Yeah. They touch tips in the center of my body. And I was like, are you going to use the same camera? Please do my ass first.
Did you actually say that?
Yeah, I probably said something stupid like that. I was so high because I didn't want to be awake, and I was like, "You're going to put me to sleep for this," because I'm such a homophobe that the idea of being awake through something
That's a good thing
passing
to admit
through
on the podcast.
my
Yeah.
butt. You're not a homophobe, and any straight guy is pretty much a homophobe. It's almost like in our DNA.
Are those equivalent of not wanting something in your butt and being a homophobe?
100%.
Okay, sure.
That's what they call it.
Okay.
100%.
That's what they call it. Dude. That's why. Okay, sure.
Every time I go to the doctor, he's like, I gotta do this. He's like, stop being such a homophobe. Like, the fact that you're calling me homophobe.
Homophobes are usually closeted gay men who want something up their ass, not someone who doesn't want a medical procedure done to them for the sake of health.
Yeah, not closeted people though. Not all of them. A lot of them are just people who are so have no confidence in themselves whatsoever that they think being labeled gay will do the opposite of what they're trying to do, which is impress women, which is the opposite of what a straight woman wants. Like I think a lot of people lose that. Like when someone gets when you call a straight guy gay and they get insulted, that means like it's insulting to be gay. That's not the point. But if you're a straight man, straight women don't want a gay man, so you're ruining my setup here. It's just that's all.
Sure.
Really all it is.
Makes sense. Checks out.
Yeah, it checks out. Anyways, so they did both those and they wouldn't put me to sleep. So they said they could give me Valium. It calms you down. It relaxes you. But I know this from both the times I've ever been given Valium before any type of procedure. I smoke enough weed in the morning and then go into that hospital and they give me Valium. I will sleep through anything that happens. And that's just how it was. So I slept. Well, I think I slept through the whole thing. It might just be blackout where I was awake, chatting with them the whole time.
Right.
Like turn on the vibrating setting, please. Like things like that while they were going. But I might have been sleeping. But I do remember waking up, and then when I left, going into the bathroom because they like go to the bathroom to pee or whatever, and all you're doing is letting out all the air that they sucked in. And I remember
just your fucking dick like an inflatable tube, man, just going.
Yeah, the end of a balloon. Yeah, just going that. And I just and I remember being in there, and my girlfriend at the time was picking me up, and she was in the waiting room with like lots of people, and I'm in the bathroom that's right in the center of the waiting room, and all you hear is just me just exhaling all the air and like just all the cartoon farts you can imagine in the world, just vibrating this room, and everyone just staring at my girlfriend, and it's like she's taking all the heat for it, because they all know. And then they took me to get blood afterwards, and I really remember like just joking the whole time and like yelling at the woman, calling her a vampire. And I'm like, she's gonna drink it. I saw her drinking it. I remember yelling in the room, I saw her drink it.
That rules, actually.
Yeah, my girlfriend was
That's fucking
so
sick.
annoyed. But I think it's all about that. It's like
you
if
turn
she
into
wasn't,
fucking what's his name? What's the fucking conspiracy theory guy? What's his name? Calls everyone psychic vampires. Alex Jones. Just turn into Alex Jones when you're on a heavily medicated.
Yeah. I think also I really think it's influenced by the fact that I knew my girlfriend was there and I just knew it would embarrass her, so I go like full-fledged.
What an instinct to have.
I know, it's such an instinct to have. I will go like, I'm so shy if it's me, but if it's just to like make someone else laugh or make them uncomfortable for a good laugh.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Like I don't have a brother, but I'll walk through the grocery store aisles with my girlfriend and be like, I wish I hadn't slept with my brother.
Yeah, man, I used to. Carly literally got really mad at me once because like we walk into like a rest stop while we're driving, to the States, and we'll stop at like a McDonald's, and then we'll walk in, and I'll just be like, remember, if it hurts too much, just wait a little while, and it'll pass. And I'd say it really loud, and she just eventually she's like, "It's only funny for you. You get that?" I'm like, "Oh, that's where it's not. That's where I'm being."
You give and take. I don't know, like if whatever.
Yeah, it was funny though. I used to also in the pharmacy, like I'd always put things in our basket that she didn't see, and so when we got to the cash and
Classic.
You pass it, and one time I got
playing pranks, bro. Classic comedians playing
one
pranks.
time I used to like my go-to was always the Jerry curls, just because like it's really funny, like that. Not the Jerry
you can
curl
just
stuff.
buy Jerry curls.
Well, no, it's just this picture of a black man and his hair is all weavy, and it's that gel they put in to kind of like give that weave in their hair. But it's so ridiculous as a white person to be purchasing this, so I just thought it was very funny. And I've
been using some of it. I don't know if you've seen the curls are coming back.
beautiful. He needed a fro pick now just to suit it. And I used to put that in all the time. And one time we weren't even paying attention, and I didn't even get to the joke, but we actually paid for it and brought it home.
That rules.
And I returned it, obviously, because I didn't want it. Was like $46 for this kit. Really overcharging black people for doing their hair because Dep gel is $1.99.
That's what they're talking about when they talk about systemic racism. Is
exactly. And
not anything else.
I'll never forget returning it and being like, I don't know, I tried it so many times, I just don't look like this guy on the box.
And that was again a joke just for you.
Just
the name of Oren Spiro's upcoming comedy album, just for me.
Just for
you guys didn't like that? Okay, that was just for me.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that.
Classic hack.
Hey. Yeah.
I was looking through old. I don't know. Whatever. It doesn't matter. There was this news article in May of ISIS being like, we're pleased as pertaining to COVID. They're like, God is punishing all of our foes. And I just like the idea of like someone asking ISIS, the head of ISIS, being like, so how you guys doing? Be like, you know what? Can't complain. We're doing pretty good.
Hey, look, business is good and we're not spending anything. So
we're not spending. It's we used to be in the red.
Yeah.
We used to be, but now cash flow, killing it.
Profits up, spending down. We're happy.
And also the idea that like when Osama bin Laden was like on the top 10 FBI's most wanted list, there was like a small town sheriff being like, I'm going to cash that Osama. just deploying all his resources for like the whatever county in New Hampshire being like, we're going to catch Osama.
Yeah, played by Tommy Lee Jones.
Gonna catch Osama. That was I don't know what that was. That was not Tommy Lee Jones.
I imagine probably just because that one movie. That's a good movie, No Country for Old Men.
It is a good movie.
What like I like it. It's like those Korean movies that have no ending, that like leave you like with completely not knowing anything really happened and
the only Korean movie I've seen is Old Boy, and then I watched the American version.
Oh, that's disappointing.
And I don't remember either one. I don't remember either one of them. Those were like in my phase of like just getting way too high and watching every movie that, dude, you got to watch this, like all those movies. You got to watch this movie. That list of movies, and just I don't remember a single one of them. It's probably like 200 hours of my life I'll never get back.
I guess I always had like
Blood Simple. I don't remember Blood Simple.
The Warriors.
Well, I mean, like the scene that everyone makes fun of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's in the zeitgeist. It's a bit different.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I used to watch those things. That I was one friend who had all like every movie in the world on like a blank tape, like blank cassette. He just had like walls and walls of blank cassettes.
And another installment of Oren Spiro is fucking old.
You never had VHSs with taped movies on them? Yeah,
sure. And then I turned 12 or whatever.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about being young here too. Like we were probably like 11 years old.
Remember when you were 34 and the HD DVD player lost to Blu-ray?
So he had some that had no labels on them, right? So like they were mystery movies and they were fun. You put it in and you just like it'd be just like randomly be some like weird Jean-Claude Van Damme movie like Hard Target where he's like standing on a motorcycle for no reason,
Yeah. And
one time we put it in and it was his mother and stepfather fucking.
Hell yeah.
And I remember as it started, it was just like their room, and I'm like, I know that room.
Production value is really bad on this one.
Like, I know that room, and then I wasn't even looking at the woman, and then like I was like, oh, is she naked?
No,
no,
you were not looking at the woman as per usual.
And then I was like, oh, I know that dog. And then,
what was the dog doing? And what role was the dog playing in this tape?
Hey, there's nothing better than a
Just
real
a cameo?
Home porn because a real home porn with a real couple, at one point an animal will walk into that goddamn room and they will shoo it away.
Hell yeah.
That is real sex.
Hopefully that's the best. Yeah, that's the best case scenario is they shoo it away.
But when we saw that video, we were out like right at the cusp of like being interested in all that stuff. Like we were always like telling each other when we found porns. It was his mother who was hot as fuck, like just one of those like all she did was go to the gym and like she'd just always be on her. She had a Stairmaster kind of thing in her house, and she would always be wearing leggings on the Stairmaster, and I was always
before leggings were cool.
Yeah, exactly. She started the trend.
Yeah, and she's Lulu.
Yeah, but they started up here. That's the difference because they were still like 90s style. So like they pretty much go up to the tits. And I remember we turned it on. He yelled, turned it off, and I go, dude, I'm like, you have to let me watch this. And he's like, no fucking way. And I go, man. And he's like, what? I'm like, dude. He's like, what, you think I should let you watch this? I go, of course. I mean, who gets to see something like that? That's crazy. I get you don't want to see it. And I somehow, in the end of it, he went upstairs to his room and played music or something. And I stayed downstairs and I watched his mother get fucked by his stepmother with a dildo and with all this fun stuff, man. And
all this fun stuff, just a bag of tricks.
And to this day, it's still in the bank.
It's one of your favorite memories.
It's still in the bank.
Just on your deathbed, just like, I want to thank Ishmael or whatever. I don't know what they're.
I don't understand why people think Ishmael is such a Jewish fucking
I think
name.
we've already talked about this. I can't remember now.
It is.
These podcasts are kind of weaving in with our real life conversations, and I don't know what's real, what's not.
That's fucking hilarious because I wanted to say something about that dude that I didn't get off my chest because how dumb is this? This guy thought there's people who think they're really smart but they're not that fucking smart, and someone needs to wake them up. We once got. This was the Ishmael argument we got in where he said that I was making it up because I was Jewish, that's what the name of the guy in Moby Dick's name is. That's how it starts.
Right. Yeah.
He also once told me.
So this was on the podcast, right?
Yeah, that was on the podcast, but this wasn't. He once told me that when it says 27% chance of rain, it means that 27% of the island of Montreal will be getting rain. That's and dude,
does he know about other places in the world?
Dude, he thought that when it says 70% rain on the news channel, it meant that 70% of the area was going to get rain. Which 70%? Oh, we don't know. We're just giving you round numbers here. And because I didn't think he was that dumb, but in that conversation, he was so positive that we had to get people involved to make
just
him understand.
Strangers like, hey. We got a problem over here. Can you step in? It's like, is someone hurt? No. We got an extremely dumb person who is hurting himself.
Because we're at a restaurant and there's tons of people around. So I'm getting everybody to confirm. And he literally, 7 people explaining to him what's so obvious. And he ends the whole thing with agree to disagree. And you're like,
agree to disagree that you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's so great. That shit's hilarious to me. And fucking 70%. What the fuck?
Are you a Benihana guy?
Hiya.
What does that mean?
That was the song Benihana.
Dude, again,
Hiya.
hitting me with what is that?
That was the theme song for the restaurant.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was just like a bunch of songs from everybody Wang Chung tonight to everybody was kung fu fighting.
No,
they just went full blood. Where people were just throwing in some fake Asian slang into it.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went to Benihana?
I don't think I've ever been.
Never been?
But I've been to a style place. That's where they cook in front of you.
Yeah. I think they just opened in Montreal. I guess there were knockoffs before.
Knockoffs. I think they're just the big version of it. I think it always existed, and it's not a knockoff of them. Just like Kleenex didn't invent the tissue paper. They're just the best one.
How was your Benihana experience?
I mean, I just feel like it's the overacting of these Japanese chefs that they treat you like a child the whole time. And I just don't understand why I want to be, it's not like my 7th birthday party,
Yeah. Didn't like that. It's been a while since I just remembered it though, the other day. Cause I remembered, he was just fucking the air by me the entire dinner. He was humping the air. The entire singing Britney Spears.
Oh, really?
I mean, doing cool shit with onions and stuff, sure, but also just humping his dick a foot away from my face, and all I could picture was just his dick the whole dinner, and I didn't need that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how big do you think it was?
I don't. Maybe the volcano he was building every night was proportional to his dick. Maybe that's what he was trying to tell us with his volcano every night.
Oh my god, that's
okay. I thought there was gonna be. I thought you would have a Benihana thing for some reason. You look like a Benihana.
No, I've been there.
You look like a guy who's been dragged to Benihana.
Yeah, dragged there for freaking adult people's birthday parties where they spell out 50 in bean sprouts on a goddamn heating platform, and I'm supposed to be impressed that he could throw an egg, land it in the center of an onion, and fry it.
And even if they don't land the egg, it's
Yeah, they
still
may-
okay. They miss every time. They miss 90% of the time, and then you're like, you know what? At least he landed like near it.
Dude, I wanted dinner, not a juggler. Okay, honestly, I'm cool.
When's the last time you wanted to see a juggler?
Oh, like literally never. I mean,
No.
in Montreal in the summertime, you could walk around
Oh,
seeing
yeah.
more jugglers in a day than you need to see your entire life.
Yeah, and they're all somehow getting paid by Just for Laughs. Is that where the budget's going? That they can't pay Canadian comedians for a hotel room or any type of money.
Yeah.
Like if you're a Montreal comedian who goes to like unless you're on a gala or some shit, you're not getting paid.
Yeah, I don't know. Just for Laughs though is such a funny concept of comedy to me, always was, you know, because like just their theme is like those gags, you know, and like they're
Which are worldwide, by the way. You can board a plane in Indonesia and you'll see a Just for Laughs gag, just like a random guy by the Comedy Nest.
I was there in Thailand when I was taking a small plane to an island and they were playing the video before. I was shocked. I was like, this is why I never really understood why it was like a mime. Like there was no talking and now
no language. Yeah.
It's like,
it's just, they sell it everywhere. It's like the height of comedy in fucking wherever.
I don't
want to name a specific country.
Anyways, and then they also have that mascot who's like, that's what they think comedy is, that mascot.
Oh, Victor,
that's
green
the
guy.
respect they have for comedy.
With the let's call it a extremely hooked nose.
He's such a Jewish stereotype. He's got horns and a hooked nose. It's fucked.
Yeah. Green, like the color of money. We'll call him Victor to throw him off the trail.
Jesus Christ. We know his real name. It's Shloimi.
It's Shlomo Shloimi. Have you ever seen, by the way, those billboards for that real estate agent, Moshe Shlomo?
Yeah, I've seen it all over the place. Why the fuck do real estate agents have to sell themselves like they're models? I don't understand what this thing is.
I don't know, dude.
What is this beast that's been created where they have to take these awful pictures of themselves just standing there like this, and that's
like,
how
can you sell the house or no?
Yeah, I don't give a shit that you know how to wear a suit casually but formally at the same time. It doesn't really mean anything to me.
I don't know what's happening. Hockey's gonna come back. Do you care at all?
No, I don't understand. Is it actually coming back?
Yeah, they have like almost like they have like 3-4 positive tests out of the whole league, so it's coming back. I was just thinking about my favorite hockey moments off the ice. One of my favorite. So there was two. There was a Twitter exchange. Jamie Benn is a pretty high profile hockey player as far as hockey players go. Plays for the Dallas Stars. Yeah. There was a Twitter exchange where he messaged Jason Demers, who's another hockey player, another NHL player. Saying, I forget what the context was, but he was like, "Oh yeah, you like that? I bet you punch Mox too," meaning like munch box, you know, like the spoonerism where you switch the two. Yeah. And Jason Demers was like, "Yeah, eat pussy." And for some reason, to Jamie Benn, this is like a few years ago. This is like if you listen to hockey podcasts, I'm sure this has been covered extensively. But imagine being like a fucking frat bro, like a fucking like a CH, like a junior hockey player, your whole life is just going to be a pro hockey player, and thinking that it's emasculating to eat pussy. I love that. I love that the guy's answer was like, yeah, I eat pussy.
Yeah, it's weird. It almost seems like a good joke to be like, yeah, and I bet you get laid all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It seems like it's funny, but I guess it's actually not trying to be. But there's that whole that movie that I've talked about twice, I think, on this podcast already, with New
Jack City.
No. True Romance. Samuel L. Jackson has a whole monologue about how it's like this whole thing that it's like not good to eat pussy. Like you should be embarrassed. Like he's not embarrassed to eat pussy, even though that's what people say. Just like Junior. Was it Junior?
Yeah, Junior Soprano.
Oh, that's the best fucking
Don't tell
scene.
anybody about this.
When he fucking smashes the cake in her face. And he's like, because he can't. Man, that's the funniest show in the world.
It's you know what, I regret not keeping up with it after I rewatched season 1, because I watched when I was like 14. You can't appreciate The Sopranos in its fullest at 14 years old.
You should rewatch it, man.
I'm gonna rewatch it at some point.
But those 14 years old, that's the golden age.
Of what?
Of being the weirdest version of yourself you could possibly.
Oh yeah,
be.
11 to 14 is such a fucking nightmare age, dude. 11 to 14, no one should be 11 to 14. They should lock you up somewhere far away with a bunch of
Oh.
11, 14-year-olds, and the best ones get to live after.
Yeah, that's such
There
a
should
good
not
idea.
be any to 11, 14-year-olds, dude. I remember being 11, like your head's like some kids have just like a head of a 25-year-old
know.
and the body of a like. I think that was me. I think I had the same size head when I was 11. I was
Yeah.
5'1".
Like
you
if
know?
someone pushed you off a cliff, you just fall in circles. Oh, because of the motion of your head just bringing
Yeah,
you
just like a
around.
water bottle with just enough water at the bottom of it.
Exactly.
Always lands on its fucking bottom. On
Yeah,
the
those were
sturdiest
weird
surface.
times. Just getting
Fucking
into
11 to 14-year-olds, and like you always have like if you had braces, they were always like too tight at that age because you had all your adult teeth on a fucking tiny. So just all your gums are like inflated from all the pressure, and you just have nothing. You're nothing but gums.
always
And
in
then
pain.
you hope that like once those braces come off, you're not just still nothing but gum, you know. And some people are. Some people they get the braces off, and it's just gum, and it's just
Yeah.
like
That
I
lip
bet
just
you wish.
raises higher than it ever did for some reason. It just got trained to avoid metal. So
It's just, yeah, it's a Darwinist evolutionary trait.
I also remember 11, 14 being so awkward because I think I was going through puberty so much earlier than a lot of my friends, and so
Well, it
I
was very awkward because of all the dicks you sucked,
I was sucking so much dick,
or
and
just the one,
yeah.
the one.
It's weird when you sucked more dicks than your age, I also that's like when the internet also for us the internet was just coming into as a thing, like when we were 9, 10, 11 as we were getting horny, and we had my friend was the only one who had internet access on his father's computer in like the office downstairs,
Right.
and we just found out about finding naked women on the internet, like you could, but like it wasn't just about porn, or it was actually just about finding celebrities naked. That's what the only thing we were interested in.
Yeah.
I don't even know where we were I guess back in the day there was like webcrawler.com or something like that.
I don't know that.
I don't know how we were there was no Google though, I'll tell you that much. And we were just trying to figure out how to find these, and we downloaded all these printed on a laser printer, black and white. And I put them in an old school, like a school duotang, like something I had in grade 6 for like for Jewish history. And I just took out the papers. It had the it had the 2 problems.
Like a binder. Like I don't think duotang is outside of Canada.
No way, really?
I think duotang is a Canadianism. Yeah.
2 tangs.
I might be wrong.
So it's just basically
What
a
the
paper
fuck's a
folder.
tang? Don't try to make sense of it.
There's
Yeah, no,
two-
it's got 2 tangs, so
It does,
it's a
got 2
duo tang. You know,
tangs. What do you
what the fuck's a
mean?
tang? What do you mean a tang?
That's a tang. The double.
You mean the
spike.
drink from space? You mean the orange? What are you talking
Anyways,
about?
it's a folder
Tangs.
with 2 tangs. It's a bi tang.
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
It's a tang every 2 weeks or once every week, twice every week.
And I had that thing filled with just these pictures, and like I don't even think like I ever used them for even anything sexual. I was too young, but I remember having them because my friends wanted to print them out, and I remember instead of I created like a caption, like as if it was like the New Yorker cartoon contest, and I had to write a caption on the bottom of each one of these pictures,
Yeah.
And I wish I could see them now because I remember they were there was Tiffany Amber Thiessen from 90210, and it's on the bottom it said 9021. Oh, in like quotation marks.
Nice, dude.
Or like a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer, and it said, and obviously these were Photoshop pictures, but we didn't even know you could do that back then. So there's a Michelle Pfeiffer naked, and it said like meow kitty, or here kitty kitty, something like that.
You know what's funny is that if like you had to like draw a cartoon of a woman queefing, you had to describe what the sound would be like, it would be PHEIFFER. The Pfeiffer?
Yeah, that's it. I love that. It's a funny sound. And
That was dumb as hell. Yeah, I remember at like when you don't know what I used to like put XXX at the end of everything I would search online. I remember I had my friends over and I had like searched like Pokemon XXX. We were like, let's fucking see what Misty's up to,
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird cartoon.
At like 7 or 8 years old.
Yeah, and now you can't.
Because like you don't know what else to look up. You're like XXX means naked, right? So we know Pokemon, we know naked. Let's put those things together.
And now you can't come without seeing a tentacle, right?
Thankfully, I didn't go down that road.
That one confuses me the most.
Well,
Hentai?
that's what the new Seattle hockey team thing is the Kraken, just it's tentacles
yeah.
going through the S. So it's a bunch of like Japanese enthusiasts, like Japanese porn enthusiasts, just voted for the Kraken.
That's very strange.
I don't know
Who sees a dildo and they're like, "Can I get it with suction cups?" Like I don't understand.
Oh, that's so. I don't like that. Suction cups on the outside, just gripping onto the. Oh, I don't like that at all.
I mean, that's the whole thing of a
Ugh.
tentacle.
I didn't think about that. I remember when I was like 9 or 10 years old, or maybe like 8, whatever, it doesn't matter.
First time I sucked a dick.
That's way too young, dude. It's not good. No, I remember I was on.
Just don't say your uncle's name, okay? That's all. Go ahead.
Yeah, my uncle, the used dick sucking salesman. A lot of used salesmen in my family.
Yeah.
No, I remember I was on the Matchbox 20 website, and there was because I like the one song, I guess.
Of course you did.
I was on the Matchbox 20
personality.
website, and I have a vivid memory of like someone trying to cyber sex on the Matchbox 20 website chat. It was just like a whole bunch of people just having fake online virtual whatever keyboard sex, and I was like 8. I was like, I don't know what this means. I really don't know. They were like, I want to hump you. I was like, what's are you also 9? What do you mean hump?
I was about to say that, yeah. Hump?
That was
I
like
don't
my
know.
first intro, I think, to like real like online debauchery. Was the
That's-
Matchbox 20 website chat.
That is so creepy. That's all that would happen in any chat room in my head. Like any chat room would eventually get to someone being fucking weird. I want nothing. I never. It was never my thing. Chat was never. I think I was lucky. I think the next generation, like you, were weirdos who got into chat.
You didn't have to be into it. You would just go on a website and there would be like a chat thing that would pop up.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's so strange.
Well, it's gone now, so.
Thank God. I don't want to have kids. Like I'm afraid. I'm afraid because I'm afraid of like the whole idea that like I don't know that the internet's the scariest place. Like you have to watch their fucking computers, or you're supposed to just give them freedom and trust them. Like what are you supposed to do? I mean, it's crazy how easy it is to see someone naked.
Well, here's the thing: is that it is insane, especially like once you get past the softcore and you get into hard. Like I remember, like there was that French station that had at midnight every night. They had like the softcore porn where people were like fucking each other's belly buttons, basically.
Bleu Nuit.
Like there'd be a girl, there'd be a girl riding a guy, but it was like way too high on the body. It's like it made like. Even as a kid, I was like, I don't think they're actually doing it, but it's pretty close. So I like this a lot.
Like that sex scene in the movie
Please name another 50-year-old movie.
What? You don't know Showgirls? You've never seen Showgirls?
I've never seen Showgirls. I know you're supposed to see it because it's like the first, like it's a movie with whatever.
It's just great. It was great for the time. And there's a sex scene in a pool, and it makes no sense. It's like, first of all, no, like sex in a pool is just never works out for anybody. There's chlorine in her pussy.
How is it dry?
She's not enjoying it
underwater.
Oh, it's so gross. I don't know why that happens. It's so strange.
I don't get it. Like why? Well, I guess because it's like your skin prunes, so you can grip onto stuff because that's what our bodies evolved to do. It's just like your hands prune, so you become like a little otter, a little fucking weird little otter in the water. What was I gonna say? Doesn't matter.
Anyways, and she's wrapped around his waist the whole time, pretty much.
Right.
Like they're having sex, but like she's literally wrapped around his waist. So like, how big is this guy's dick? Like, is it literally coming up all the way to here? And then they're just, it makes no sense. It's a hilarious scene. It's worth watching. Just Google the sex scene on YouTube. Yeah, watch it on YouTube. It's hilarious.
Is it on YouTube?
I think it is.
Just again naming another competitor for our podcast on YouTube. First Joe Rogan, now with Showgirls sex scene.
So funny, man. Yeah, I was a weird teenager. I really am gonna get screwed, I think, when I get one.
I think like we grew up at least with technology. Like our parents didn't like had like Pong, you know, that was the extent of their tech.
Yeah.
At least we know about like how weird it can get and like how to like maybe block what they would one day. And I think at like 13, you're like, you know what? I saw the weird shit in the world. You get to see it too. Like I'm not gonna ask any questions. 14, 15, whatever you want to do, just go see it, I guess.
I think the biggest
parental controlling you.
The biggest problem is that we're going to be the weirdos because we're going to be like, when do you stop posting on Instagram? When does that happen? Like, are you 75 at bridge being like, I'm playing bridge with my bitches? Like, what the fuck? Like,
I'm pretty sure that's already happening right now. So why would it stop?
But like, it's going to be worse with our generation. You know what I mean? It's fucked. Like, we're never going to stop posting it. We're always going to need validation. I'm going to be 97. And still, like, you know, still
you're never gonna be 97, so don't worry about it.
That's so fucking true.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I think kids figure it out for the most part. A small percentage, like a percentage of them end up being weird because of the shit they see at a young age. And I saw a bunch of weird shit. I think I'm pretty normal. I don't know. There's no way my parents have any idea what I saw. They cannot even fucking imagine.
Yeah, but
They can imagine.
I saw some weird shit, but I couldn't even. But if I had the access that I had today, I would have saw and it's why sex is so intense and weird now. Like back when I was younger, you'd have sex with someone and you were both trying to figure it out. Now everybody knows everything, and it's like, okay, are we doing this or are we doing this? Which one are we doing? I remember like when girls started deep throating out of nowhere, and it was just like a thing women did, and you were like, what is going on?
Yeah, I remember the first time I heard about it. There was this one lady who perfected it, and she was like the queen of it online. Remember that? There was like, I forget what her. It was this one woman who had a porn site, and all she did was that.
Dude,
and now everyone's doing it. She like really cornered the market, and it's like
there was a movie.
It's like if
called,
iPhone. What?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
The riff went nowhere. It was gonna go nowhere. It's like if iPhone came out with the iPhone and someone else made it better, but it doesn't matter.
It is. There was this woman. There was this movie called Deep Throat. I'm sure you've heard of it, right?
Yeah, I thought it was about the Nixon thing.
Oh. So the Deep Throat whole thing was like, it was this one movie of this one girl who did this one thing, and you'd never see it anywhere else, and it was crazy. And then like years, and it was something you would never expect someone to do because they would choke. Why would they want to do that, you know? And then years later it just became the norm. And it's the same thing with everything, with choking a girl, with ass eating, with all this weird shit that didn't exist. And like as I get older, and when I was single, like you date someone, and when you get back into the dating scene after dating someone for 7 years, and it's like, whoa, what the fuck are you guys doing?
What happened?
It is.
Wait, who invented rock and roll? Just like a time machine. A white man invented rock and roll?
It's just really fucked, and you almost can't keep.
You think that's what happened? Someone went back in time and started deep throating it back in like this, like whenever Marty McFly went back in time too. It's like, hey, cousin Mom, you gotta want to see this. And it's just what?
Yeah, and he also changed Berenstein to Bernstein Bears.
Yeah. Okay, so it's all that.
Yeah.
And then Nelson Mandela died in prison, and now he's whatever.
Now he's Morgan Freeman. We all know the stories.
Yeah.
I know. I don't.
I was trying to think of other ones of those, but I can't remember. I think it's just Bernstein Bears.
Yeah, I didn't realize how Jewish their name was until we just said.
Well, it's not. That's the whole thing. Is that it was Jewish when we were kids, and then the universe thing happened, and now it's Bernstein.
Oh, Bernstein. That's right. And it was completely
like a stain that burns.
Those books were weird because there were different illustrators and stuff. So it's like it was like a franchise of a book, and like I used to always notice.
Oh, really?
This one was very different than this one, and like I think for years one person wrote it, and then it got kind of like and the Scholastics team probably just got hold of it, and like we can do whatever we want with
They
this
stripped
book.
it for parts, like a fucking conglomerate buying a small business.
Man, Scholastics like the Netflix of books.
And then just died.
Yeah,
is it still around? I can't. Like, I guess if you have kids, you know if it's still around.
Hey, order a book from this fly in grade 1, get it in grade 7. He's super excited. You could find out what happened to Clifford the dog in 7 years when we finally give you the book. Oh, it turns out
he's too big again.
And then boom, the books come, and then you get this other book, and you're like, what the fuck's this book? And there's a note on it that says, we were out of the book you chose. Here's some other book. Yeah, you didn't
remember.
have books.
I didn't have Scholastic.
Yeah, I guess maybe I'm in the last generations of that.
I think it still happened. I think it just depended on where I think they like lost their contracts or something. I don't know. I think Harry Potter happened, and then like it just made that shit just, what's it called?
You read all the Harry Potter books?
I read all Harry Potter books. I read the first 3 in French, and then I read the rest in English.
You read them in French?
Yeah, I went to French school.
Oh,
I was in 4th grade when they came out, I think, or like 3rd grade or something.
So
I couldn't read in English until I was like 12. So even when I read later on, I was like struggling through, because fucking J.K. Rowling would do this thing where it's like, I don't know. She would spell it D-U-N-N-O. And I was like, what the fuck is a dunno? And I struggled through the 5th book, the entire thing. Cause she says, I don't know, like every 5 sentences. So I really struggled through that book.
I'll never forget once I was passing notes with someone in school, and I asked them a question, and they wrote, I do know. D-U-N-N-O.
Yeah, that's what I
And
said.
I wrote back, so then tell me. Because I thought it was, I do know.
Oh, that's smarter than me, who just didn't even think of an explanation for it.
And so he's like, but I don't know. Like, and I remember it was like one of those things because I'm a dumb person, right? I'm not a smart human being. I am dyslexic, so I can't read good. So I always get really self-conscious in those moments. So like when he's telling me something that I should have known, you know, it just makes you feel like such an idiot when you're like, I can't believe I just didn't know that's what it meant. Like I've been reading it in books. And you're like, well, he does know, but he's being weird about it.
I think I asked someone to explain it to me, and I was like, yeah, I'm the fucking stupidest kid in the world. I can't believe my parents let me learn 2 languages, and I don't know either one well. That's what happens when you grow up bilingual. You fuck up both.
Yeah.
For the longest time until you pick a route.
I was like 20 years old, and I was like, that's a beautiful gown you're wearing. I put a D on it.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot, dude.
I just wanted there to be a D for some reason. Why? But why?
I've been gowned. Now marry me. Well, thank you for the dead air after that one.
It just didn't make me laugh. So,
well, yeah, I know. I'm really crashing out, dude. I woke up at 6:30 this morning because the fucking dog came and said hello. Just had to lick my face 6:30 in the morning just to wake me up for no reason. Didn't go out for another hour and a half.
The dog, man, you were so cute on Instagram. You posted a picture like, you're like, look how happy I am.
Yeah.
My life. Oh, don't talk about my Instagram on this.
No, don't.
Don't mention that I have an Instagram.
Twitter only.
I don't. That's my real life. Put it on private if you don't want people to see it.
No, it's fine.
No, I need the validation. I just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sweet. I really though don't like the relationship Instagram thing is such a weird like.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this idea that like if you're at work on LinkedIn, it's like when you're on Instagram in a relationship. It's like the worst. Like there's weird, like even if you're completely innocent, there's just something weird about it, you know? Like, but why are you there?
Oh, because okay. I don't have that because when I pop up my search function, it's just puppies. So I don't have that.
Is that true?
That you have. Yeah.
Dude. So at one point I probably clicked on a few hot girls, you know, because there's so many on Instagram. And then it started showing me all these TikTok videos of these children wearing nothing, doing these ridiculous dances. And I've been spending all my time on Instagram, like
just looking at other shit, just trying to get rid of it.
Yeah, and holding down the button, doing not interested, and just like looking at other things because I'm like, Instagram, what the fuck, man?
No, mine is just nothing but puppies, and then just a mullet, a hockey mullet.
That's hilarious. That is just your search.
That's just everything. It's just Jaromir Jagr and baby boxers. That's
you're
the way I like it.
Fucking pure, Jason. No one can compete. I wouldn't even show my Instagram thing.
Yeah, because you got kids dancing weirdly.
Dude, what is going on TikTok? I have no clue, but it's creepy as fuck. Like, that's another thing. If I had a son or daughter like wearing practically nothing, just like with no rhythm, showing it off on a platform, I'd be like, hey, this is not.
First of all, learn some rhythm.
Yeah, figure out how to dance.
What's Michael Jackson's dad's name again?
I feel like it's Philip.
It's definitely not Philip.
Randy.
Joe.
Randy Jackson.
Joe Jackson. I think Randy's another brother. No, Randy Jackson's the guy from American Idol.
Oh yeah. He's always like listening to rap so intense. Like he like whenever a rapper would go on, he'd always
there were rappers? I don't remember that.
He'd be like, I'm listening to this so intensely, and he'd make this face. I'm like, it's so annoying.
I don't remember that at all. Do we have anything else to end this on?
Turns out X Factor didn't have the X Factor, right? Didn't stay on TV very long.
I put hummus on my mouse trap because I thought my mouse was maybe Jewish.
I like that. That's funny.
It's not a joke. I put hummus on the mouse trap and I didn't eat it.
Put a gold coin.
I'm hoping 5 Mouskowitz over here that I'm living with. I've been living in this apartment for almost 2 months now. I locked eyes with the mouse on the first night in the bathroom taking a shit at 2 a.m. I saw it again yesterday while my girlfriend and the dog were on a walk. I guess it comes out whenever the dog's asleep or like not around. And I locked eyes with it just to my left over here, and it scurried away. And then I put the real mouse traps out to kill it because I had this humane thing. Yeah, that's what I'm putting on the mouse trap now.
Well, you
I don't
know,
want a
I
problem.
famously had rats once upon a time, and that was the worst because we heard some scurrying at one point, you know, and we were like kind of like played it off like it was nothing. And then like I think I told you, and then at one point my girlfriend was doing laundry, and all our clean laundry was folded and in a basket. You know, we took it from
Right.
the downstairs laundromat, folded, and left it there. And my girlfriend's putting away all her shit, and there is a hole in the crotch of all her underwear and in all the armpits of
Yeah.
her
The
goddamn.
horny ass rat, dude.
So this rat, but we didn't think that at the time. We didn't think there were rats. We didn't think it was. We just thought maybe it was something in the detergent, or maybe like I didn't even put the.
Detergent that just went after pussy juice.
Yeah, it was just hungry for pussy juice. It just attracted itself. It was the
Pussy
new
juice
Tide.
detergent.
We
If
got
you know what,
Tide cold water
juice-
and Tide pussy juice.
Juice detergent is the name of the episode. Just so we know.
Okay. And I remember we didn't know, and I didn't even put the connection in that it's like vagina and armpit, and it's like places
Yeah.
where you sweat or whatever. And so a few days later, when we saw the rat in the house, it was like this giant, like, holy shit, it's a rat. That's not
It was
only
just making
in
a
the house.
sandwich. Just
That's-
like you walk into it in the kitchen, it's just on its hind legs making a sandwich. Like, hey, you want one?
Yeah, you like open the bathroom, he's sitting, it's like, hey, I'm in here.
I'm in here. I'm taking that shit over here.
And fucking, and when you realize that this thing has been coming into the room while we're sleeping and like crawling around, it really fucks with your head. And then we're like, what do we do? And we called the landlord, and he was like, I'll kill this thing. And then
He just comes in naked,
Dude.
greased up with like his hands up. Like, where is it?
I told him it's under the sink. He's like, all good. And he comes down, opens the thing, sees the rat, screams like a little girl, shuts the door. He's like, I guess we're going to have to get somebody else in here. And so,
what did you expect, you idiot?
and so he's like, I'm going to bring you the traps. You leave them out overnight. He brings the traps, and it's like it looks like I thought, it's like a joke. It looks like a cartoon version of a mouse trap. Like it's
The
just
wood one?
it looks like I'm like, are you about to build a shed? Like, what do you need giant planks like that for? Are you about to build a deck? What do you need those for? But it's just this giant piece of wood with a giant spring on it. Like,
Nice.
if you step on it, you're gonna end up with a toe looking like yours, you know?
Yeah, which we should make it. I should have taken a picture and made it the background of my thing.
Oh,
We would have
thank
been kicked off YouTube just
Yeah, that's so
immediately.
funny. And then I remember him telling me, he's like, call me when it goes off. I go, call it, you're gonna hear it. I don't care where you are in the city, you're gonna hear it. This is gonna
That's
like
good.
you see birds flying away from wherever. And he's like, use the peanut butter. I'm like, okay. So I put the peanut butter on. The next morning I wake up and I go check under the cover hoping to see a dead rat, which is the craziest thing to hope to see. And I don't. I see a sprung trap, no peanut butter, and a
And
trail
the mouse
of
just licking each finger, going, "That was pretty good. Maybe a little bit of a challenge next time, huh?"
maybe some jelly next time too, huh? And there's a trail of blood leading to like a
Oh
pipe.
fuck!
So now we've got this fucking this well-fed, okay, angry one-legged rat in an outfit made out of
Rambo
my
of rats.
girlfriend's underwear, okay,
Yeah.
like with this like a fucking just like wearing a fucking, I can just see one-legged, pissed off, like I'm never leaving, you know.
Being like,
And-
"You drew first blood."
Man, it's fucked. It was crazy, and like eventually we left the place. We're like, fuck this, and we left the trap out. It killed the rat. That we're like, oh, it's gone. The next day we were in the laundry room and saw rats downstairs. We lived on the 6th floor, okay. And so we'd like left the place for a week, and we're like looking for a new place to move to. And we went back to pick up our stuff. This place was like in Westmount, by the way, like a nice place.
Really?
Yeah, Claremont and Sherbrooke, exactly where it was.
Okay.
Above Sherbrooke.
Where I lived for 2 months.
Yeah,
3
exactly.
months.
Now there's really no rats there anymore. Oh.
Okay, go fuck yourself. Huh?
Anyway, so I get back to the place to pick up a few things, and it smells like we left the garbage and like we didn't clean it out. I'm like, there must be raw chicken in there or something. So I go to get the garbage, and there's nothing in it. It's empty, and I'm like, this whole place smells like rotting food. And I, out of curiosity, decide to
Yeah.
move one of those planks that are kind of painted over that they use for like wiring and piping. You know,
Sure.
like, and I move it, and there's 3 dead rats in our walls, man.
Dude,
So fucked up. It was crazy, and
that's disgusting.
yeah,
Ugh.
So maybe your mouse isn't so bad. You know, he's got a little apartment in your wall with some mini furniture. You know, it's he's living a good life and you're helping him
I
out.
really think that like he was insulted by my choice of hummus. It was just like president's choice for me.
Why is it so watery?
No,
This
dude,
is-
president's choice hummus is like wall paste. It's so thick. It's
You
don't.
got to keep some tahini. and
This
you just gotta mix
podcast
it in.
not brought to you by President's Choice. Okay,
Yeah, but it's
specifically.
But a medium is worth switching supermarkets for. It's kind of a great tagline. it's kind of worth it.
I missed what you said.
It's worth switching supermarkets for. And on that note,
PC. Okay, yeah. When you'll be listening, what is this? It's Friday. I'll be at the Comedy Nest 2 nights before this airs. So don't come see me.
he's getting spots. He's so
I got
proud
one
of
spot, baby.
himself.
Got one
Look
spot,
at this
baby.
guy getting the
Hey,
spots,
yeah.
sharing them with all the other amazing comedians. I saw Paul Beluya went on stage and wiped down the entire mic stand and the wire all the way to the wall,
Good.
and then danced for 10 minutes because he was just so happy. to
No,
be
shut
there.
the fuck up.
Yeah, it's funny. You should see the thing. It's great.
Uh,
Yeah, so go see Jason. You know, why don't you just go there
2
every
nights
night because
ago.
he's there every night. So
That's
you might
not
as well
true.
go see
That's
him.
not true. I'll be there August on a Wednesday, on a Wednesday, August 12th or something. That's my next one after this weekend.
Hey, we didn't do this, but we were supposed to, and I'll say it now. Please subscribe if you
Yeah.
haven't.
Subscribe to iTunes. Rate it if you want to. Subscribe to YouTube.
Or tell a friend, share it with anybody.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
we
tell-
would appreciate it so much.
We're doing all right. You know, we're not doing terrible for a Canadian comedy podcast with 2 no-name fucks over here.
Yeah,
But,
it's not so bad. And if you know someone, like maybe a woman, she's lonely, she wants to hear some amazing manly voices to warm her up. You
What are
know,
you trying
'cause
to do right now? My girlfriend listens to this podcast. What are you doing?
we're just 2 sexy, good boys. Okay, so if you want
Sexy
just
good boys hour. Hey.
sexy good boys.
Probably would have gotten more listens immediately, and it would have dropped off so fast just from like the amount of curvy
we might have
47-year-olds be like, "Yeah, sexy good boy hour. That's good."
we might have a new
I wanna hear
title.
that.
We might have a new title.
Hey, Franklin Templeton, get over here. I'm investing $1 million into sexy good boys. What is that?
But if you don't want to do any of that, we still appreciate you.
Yeah.
Keep
Keep
on
listening. I thank you to the one person who I saw has been going back and listening to all of. We have one new listener making his way or her way through all of the episodes right now.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see. It's nice to see that I can track individual listeners with the Simplecast software.
I know who's listening one by one and when you listen.
I don't know who it is. I don't know where they're. Actually, I could probably find out where they're from. So
Here's what I'll tell you. If you don't want us to be able to track exactly when you listen to us, go get your
Watch
friends to
on
listen
YouTube.
to. Get your
Watch
friends.
on YouTube.
Oh, that's true. I don't know from
Watch
there.
on YouTube and subscribe on YouTube. I know where they're from.
Oh, please.
Okay, I
subscribe on YouTube.
gotta. Yeah, please subscribe on YouTube, and that's it. I think because I think it's been we've done one today.
Exactly. So everybody remember, we're both homophobic. And
only
we're
one of us
is. Sorry. And we're both gay. And
I
we're
will say
both
though,
Muslim.
calling back to last week's podcast, I ate Indian food on Wednesday, and I ordered a lot, and I had it for 2 days, like worth of meals.
Yeah.
Like whatever, 2 meals worth of food,
Yeah.
and I still smell like curry. My BO smells like curry. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like right now.
So anytime you smell a man and you're like, why are you being so typically smelly? Think he's well fed and you wish you ate what he ate for lunch.
Yeah. And on that note, thanks for listening to Juice Detergent, the podcast.
Sexy good boys. We'll see you
Sexy
later,
good boy
everybody.
hour. Goodbye.
Okay, bye, man.
Bye.
Friendship.
Our